AI News. Story 1. Anthropic secures 65 billion Series H funding. The artificial intelligence company closed its largest funding round to date, raising $65 billion in a Series H round led by major institutional investors. Anthropic, founded by former OpenAI executives, will use the capital to scale infrastructure, accelerate model development, and expand enterprise deployments. The transaction values the company at $965 billion post-money, making it one of the most valuable, privately held technology firms globally. This level of capital deployment underscores investor confidence in AI's commercial runway and Anthropic's competitive positioning against Google and Microsoft. Crunchbase News reported the financing, citing internal documents and investor sources. The round is the largest AI funding round ever recorded, surpassing previous peaks set in 2023 and 2024. Anthropic plans to double its infrastructure capacity in key regions, including new data centers in Texas and Singapore. The company also disclosed plans to hire over 1,000 researchers and engineers by year-end, focusing on safety, multimodal reasoning, and autonomous agent systems. Regulatory filings show participation from both U.S. and Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds, signaling broad geopolitical alignment with the company's long-term governance framework. This round was filed with the SEC on May 22, confirming the timing and structure of the placement. Story 2. Cerebras IPO priced at $350 share, debuts up 68%. The AI chipmaker began trading on the Nasdaq at $350 per share, closing its first day at $311, a gain of nearly 68%. Cerebras, known for its massive wafer-scale engine chips designed for large language model training, priced its offering above the expected range after strong institutional demand. The company raised approximately $1.1 billion in gross proceeds, with existing shareholders selling an additional $500 million in secondary shares. The IPO reflects investor enthusiasm for specialized AI hardware as cloud providers seek faster, more efficient training infrastructure. The New York Times confirmed the pricing and first-day performance, citing securities filings and market data. This marks the second major AI hardware IPO in 2026, following a strong debut in March by a rival chip startup. Cerebras also shared its unit economics publicly, revealing that its CS3 system achieves 70% lower cost per petaflop than comparable GPU clusters. Early customer deployments include national labs and large financial institutions running billion-parameter models in production. The company's S1 filing noted over 200 paid contracts signed in the past year, with average contract values exceeding $2 million. Story 3. Google I/O 2026 announcements. Google unveiled a wave of AI products at its annual developer conference, emphasizing safety and integration across its ecosystem. The company launched Gemini Spark, an early release model focused on safety and factuality, and made Gemini 3.5 Flash generally available via the Google Anti-Gravity platform. These models power updates to Gmail, Workspace, and Pixel devices, with deeper real-time reasoning features now accessible to consumer users. Google also introduced new developer tools that enable on-device fine-tuning and custom model deployment, aiming to accelerate enterprise adoption. The announcements signal Google's renewed push to unify its AI stack under a single brand and infrastructure layer. Google's official blog detailed each release, linking to technical documentation and developer guides. This year's event marked a shift from last year's experimental tone toward operational maturity and product scalability. Gemini Spark includes new red teaming integrations and constitutional AI guardrails developed with external ethics researchers. The anti-gravity platform now supports over 150 million daily requests, with latency under 120 milliseconds for standard inference. Google also demoed a hybrid on-device cloud pipeline for mobile, reducing power consumption by 40% without sacrificing response quality. Story 4. Memory chip makers stabilize prices via long-term agreements. Leading memory manufacturers have signed multi-year supply contracts to reduce pricing volatility in a historically cyclical market. The agreements lock in capacity commitments and price floors for DRAM and NAND flash, smoothing inventory management for both suppliers and major tech buyers. This coordinated strategy follows a steep price correction in 2025 and reflects growing consensus that AI workloads will drive sustained demand. Tech industry analysts noted that such contracts are becoming standard practice among top-tier foundries and OEMs. TechMean compiled reports from multiple supply chain sources, confirming the timing and scope of these deals. The stabilization helps large cloud providers plan infrastructure budgets with greater predictability ahead of major AI rollout cycles. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron collectively signed over $22 billion in such contracts in Q1 and Q2 2026 alone. These agreements include volume-tiered pricing, penalty clauses for underdelivery, and joint R&D clauses focused on GDDR7 and LPDDR5X adoption. Industry insiders say the contracts now span 24 to 36 months, far longer than the 6 to 12-month windows typical before 2024. Story 5. Sesame iOS App Launch. Sesame, the conversational AI startup formed by former Oculus leaders, released its flagship app globally across 39 countries. The app operates on a freemium model, offering core interaction features at no cost while reserving advanced customization and enterprise integrations for paid tiers. Sesame emphasizes natural multi-turn dialogue, real-time multimodal input, and on-device processing for privacy-sensitive queries. Early access users reported strong performance on mid-tier hardware with no required cloud dependency for basic interactions. The launch follows a successful private beta with select enterprise clients in North America and Europe. TechCrunch confirmed the release date and regional rollout, citing the company's press release and internal demo logs. Sesame's approach represents a distinct alternative to both mobile-first chatbots and full-featured desktop assistants. The app uses a proprietary sparse activation architecture trained on over 200 billion tokens, enabling rapid context switching and memory recall. Sesame's founder, former VR hardware lead at Meta, confirmed that 95% of processing occurs locally on A17 Pro and newer chipsets. The company also partnered with major telehealth providers to embed clinical triage workflows directly into the voice interface, launching with 12 major health systems in the US and UK.